Record.
I've hit record.
All right. 3, 2, 1, clap.
Let's do it
That
again.
was so off.
We're on we have latency. There's gonna be latency. That's the thing. Let's do it again. One more time. Good for good luck.
3, 2, 1, clap.
Yeah.
I'm ahead.
See?
No, I was ahead.
That sounded pretty good.
Got it.
Okay.
Our Patreon subscribers will thank us for leaving in these shenanigans. Right, so,
Wait, so that means we're actually started. This is the actual first thing they hear in the podcast.
what?
Oh no.
Hey, by the way, this is the Lonely Time Podcast. Welcome.
Hello.
Yes, welcome. Hello, Internet.
We're an improv comedy podcast, and the only goal we have is to make your day a little better.
This is the flagship, the first sail of the SS
The
Lonely
maiden
Time.
voyage.
So
Yes.
make the mer, mer, ship noises. Very good,
This
Mikkel.
is not funny. This is not funny.
I don't know, I'm having a good time. We're starting off at the top of our game.
That's all that matters, is that we have a good time, because we're the only ones
Most
who are
of this is just going to be us laughing at
That's
ourselves.
the thing.
But my
Yeah.
laughter is peaking.
Don't worry, we'll compress this later.
My laughter.
This is
My laughter is
a good
superior.
way
It manages to not peak the audio.
to introduce us into who each and every. Well, first of all, who are we as a collective? Tell us, fair dear Nishant.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of college students who have too much time on our hands,
Glorious
are
leader.
excessively lonely, and we have no sense of like relationship skills
Or
except
humor.
for like making fun of each other. And so we decided to have a podcast and see what's what.
Yeah.
And it's called Lonely Time Podcast, not just because we're lonely, but because we assume the people who are eventually going to be watching this are going to be lonely.
It's a lonely world out there.
That's the
We wanna-
point.
Yeah.
You
We
can't
wanna
listen
create-
to this unless you're like feeling lonely.
Yeah, unless you're down in
This
the
is the time you're
dumps,
supposed to
you
be
are at the
listening to
lowest
this.
point in your lives.
Yeah,
If that's your
if you're
thing,
happy
this is
with
for
yourself,
you.
Please close.
Get out of here.
Yeah, you know what? If you're happy with yourself and your
We
life,
don't want anyone who's like mentally stable or well
adjusted.
well done.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
isn't funny.
This isn't for
It
you.
really isn't
You know what?
funny.
Go enjoy your lives. Don't listen to
Oh,
this. We'll
jeez.
drag it down.
Nishant, there's an old
We still haven't done
rule
our
in
self-introductions,
improv.
guys.
There's an
yeah, of
old
course.
rule in improv.
Old
Never
rule.
say no.
Guys. Never
Always
say
be
no?
saying yes.
Guys,
yes, and.
we still haven't done our intros.
Shut up,
Oh, hi.
Mikkel. That's Mikkel.
Hi, I'm actually
Nishant.
just
The angry person is
Oh, very
Andrew, and Mikkel is the person I'm talking over.
yes, I'm just the janitor here. I'll be leaving.
Yeah.
of
I won't be
course.
here all the time.
yeah.
We like to think of ourselves as writers, humorists, video editors, game designers.
Game
all
Game
that
designer
stuff.
is the most loose
We're
translation of the word. Yeah.
The Lonely Time podcast is officially under the umbrella corporation of Donatime Studios. So
Not an official
follow us at
corporation,
Donatweet,
but okay.
Facebook.com/Donatime Studios, Tumblr.com/DonatimeStudios.tumblr.com. I did it.
Well done.
Yeah, you did. Proud of you.
I'm the social media marketer at Donatime Studios, so I have to almost force people to plug our stuff when
Yeah, if he doesn't, we don't give him his life.
like that interview you
his-
did, Nishant.
Oh yeah.
The guy
I was-
almost had to like force it out of you with like a with a crowbar. So bad at self-promotion.
You know what? Speaking of self-promotion, we're gonna go into our first little topic here, which is gonna be about
Who are we?
Yeah, who are we?
We haven't said that.
What does it mean? We could be the most fantastical human beings in the universe.
We're not.
Some of us are.
But people
One of us
won't
is.
really
Yeah.
understand that because of what we present to the world.
It's me.
So it's
It's that boy.
Professional memers as well.
That's my
yeah,
one
of course,
job.
that's part of
It's
our
all
job
I'm good for. I'm here all week, folks. Or maybe
Yeah.
I won't be, depending on whether my contract holds up. We'll see.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah,
Nishant.
sorry.
Oh yeah, of course. Which is something that definitely is necessary in every single
That will be happening
freaking
a lot.
podcast.
It's gonna be an
need to
issue
get-
at one point. I just know it.
We're doing
this
it
is
now.
ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Jesus,
beef.
why is
I'm
my
sorry.
mic so-
Please continue, Nishant.
Yes.
Okay, so
So, Mikkel, how are you doing?
I'm alright.
yeah.
Hello. Hi, Mark. How's your sex life?
Hi, Ma.
Oh, there you
know
go,
what's
peeking
that.
again.
Yeah, there it is. I have my mic set to an absolute minimum.
It has no gains.
No peaks every time I laugh.
Why can you tell when Nishant is speaking?
Because it hurts my ears.
Oh.
His mic's...
You're on like max volume.
No,
Jeez.
I have it near max because everyone I talk to on Discord tends to be fairly quiet.
So I feel like a good way to introduce who we are is to tell everyone about our current setups.
Right.
So Nishant, tell us about your setup right now. What are you looking at?
Well, I have a 2-monitor setup for monitoring my audio and also
Fancy.
checking like a little description that says "Don't say anything horribly racist."
I should put that up. I need to get one of those.
A Blue Yeti microphone with a pop filter.
Blue Yeti? Isn't that the one with the new $199 affordable mic?
Please don't. Please
Aren't they the ones that supply fresh ingredients to your door every day for a low price every
Sponsored
month?
by Blue Yeti and Blue Apron. I'm sorry.
Andrew, you're up. Describe your setup.
What headphones are you wearing, Nishant?
Headphones?
Yeah.
What headset are you using?
I assume you're
Why are
not
we talking? I mean, I have Sennheiser 43. 1 second.
Hike?
53, 22, Sennheiser, hike.
Sennheiser HD 429.
This is the most boring corner I have ever
nice.
heard. God damn it.
I like it.
Andrew,
So,
can describe your setup quickly.
I'm on a laptop.
All right, same.
It's a Lenovo whatever.
Ooh.
It's got little, what are those, webcam that I put a sticker over it so that the government can't see what I'm doing. I'm wearing a headset that usually I use to play video games, but now I'm using my Audio Technica whatever microphone, and the pop filter that I've got is a spider mount, and it's kind of broken, so what I'm using to hold it up is a Nintendo Wii.
Oh.
It's the sketchiest setup you'll ever see, and hopefully it can only go up.
You say that. Well, here's mine. I've got a nice Lenovo laptop, which apparently is quite good on paper. I told Nishant its specs a while back. I'm using a Microsoft headset with a nice little mic built in. And I'm in my dining room.
That, like the call center is?
Yeah.
In your dining room.
Yeah, I'm in the dining room because my room is too hot. And
Nice.
yeah.
It is hot out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is far
Yeah.
too hot.
It is.
Oh,
There's
Oh yeah, we're in California.
I mean, that's just the
Whatever.
default, but it's unseasonably hot
California.
lately. Summer isn't supposed to start for another week.
summer
No,
has
summer-
started.
Also, you say that your setup is the
last
sketchiest, but I've got my laptop propped up on a bag of cereal. Like a box of cereal.
Nice. Nice.
Mikkel,
I thought you were
summer
gonna
starts
say-
June 21st.
Oh.
Yeah.
Summer started 2 days ago.
Oops. Well, excuse me for not knowing the
Steam Summer
weather.
Sale started 1 day ago.
Steam Summer Sale.
Yeah, that was my main indication for
Summer.
summer. That's why I thought it was yesterday.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, did it start? Did it start on the day of summer?
I don't know. I don't think it
No,
did.
it started on the 22nd.
Yeah, I know it started.
I should also we need to talk about that because that's a
Oh yeah, we need to plug our sponsor,
that's
Steam.
relevant
Cultural
and
touchstone.
new
Yeah.
Steam Summer Sale.
Don't mind us. We're just gonna do shopping
But yeah.
during the podcast.
No, we're on Discord and communicating with each other, but we're all recording our own audio over Audacity.
Yeah, and I need to definitely
90% of this is going to get cut out.
Jesus
Don't you people worry.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, it'll just be Nishant talking to himself.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
what's
Nishant is authoritarian enough for that. Yeah,
What?
No.
I'm only authoritarian on the Discord server.
We're on a
That's true.
Discord server, you cuck.
that's true.
No, I know, but not the one I'm authoritarian on.
Ah.
And I'm gonna have to cut out that sentence because you called me a cuck. Because Jesus Christ, stop.
No,
it.
see, I
It's
know.
a fucking.
Are we censoring? Are we doing the old school films? Are we censoring this?
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
just put a
know.
chicken noise
Okay.
over every time I say cuck.
It would be crazy difficult.
Okay, fine. I'll only say
You
it
would have
twice.
to listen to
I'm only
the
gonna,
entire
no,
thing.
I'll only say it those 2 times, and then I'm done.
times.
Okay, those are my 2
The main
for this.
thing I'm gonna be doing.
So what's new
while
with you
editing-
guys? What are you guys up to?
Can I
No,
just-
you cannot.
It's gotta be natural, Mikhail.
The main thing I'm going to be doing while editing is like
Yeah.
listening to everyone's audio files individually, and if something doesn't work out, like if someone's like talking over someone else, I'll listen to which one's funnier and cut out the one that's less funny, so it doesn't sound like
Fair
we're
enough.
talking over each other.
You're talking about a 3 to 6 hour investment right here.
For something that will not yield anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, are we missing a person? We've got 3 out of 4 people here.
Nah,
Yeah, but that's for
just
guests.
for like guests and stuff. But this is our first, as you said, flagship. So we gotta, we gotta introduce ourselves.
We're testing the
before we
waters.
bring on the new
Flagship.
blood.
Flagship is the wrong word. I think
Why?
like an old rundown dinghy with like probably from your sketchy uncle.
Like it's it's the dinghy I've got stowed away in the garage.
Yeah, something about the implication. I don't know.
Of a ship?
Like
Oh yeah,
because a flag,
They do
taking
come with
people out of a ship.
implications.
like a
Yeah,
flagship
of course.
normally is the pride of a fleet, but because this is our first thing, it's not really.
It's a plank of wood that someone put a.
If anything, this
firefly
is
on.
like the early access thing of our podcast.
Yeah,
Dude, I got
basically.
money from the college.
Oh.
I just got an email. They gave me money
Cash.
Nice.
for
Money
some
in the
reason.
bank. Because you're poor. That's
You
why.
probably have not received your bright green envelope. Uh-oh.
What? Alright,
Yeah,
Andrew's
so we should
gonna be-
mention, we'll try and avoid, like, a couple stuff on this thing, on this whole podcast deal, because really, you as the person who's listening to this probably know, like, the world's, like, in a state right now, and you don't want to hear more about that, so we'll
Right.
do our best to avoid that stuff.
We are a beacon of positivity and joy.
I mean, we'll try our best.
I mean, not
know.
individually. We're all fairly
No,
cynical.
we're all
but, like,
sad sacks, but
Right here, right now, we're having fun.
together, yes, we are a beacon of hope, joy, and positivity. And
It's the whole like all the negatives
Yeah.
make a positive, even though there's 3 of us instead of 2 of
Yeah.
us.
we,
3 negatives, they make a positive.
Yeah.
Only in the
3 no's
podcasting
means
world.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, that 3 no's means yes is not.
Oh, come on, the shot.
Ooh, that's
No one else was thinking it.
I mean,
No one el-
No one else.
No one else.
Just you.
Just you. Because I
think of everything out of context.
You do. It's
Yeah.
kind of your like passive. I don't know when it
shtick.
procs, but when it does, it just ruins the mood. Well done, friend.
Like
we were having a-
You guys are still having
No,
fun.
we were, and now I'm just kind of sad. Like,
That's
what
true.
else is
Fun
What other
ruined.
garbage am I gonna spew now in this stream? I should probably
All fun is
I
gone.
should probably just leave.
Fun is dead. Nishant killed fun. For
Fun
being
is dead.
aware
It's not
of
gonna
what's
come back
happening.
in 3 days like Jesus. No, he's just gonna die right there on that cross.
Yeah, it's Nishant killed fun for being too aware of what's kind of coming out of frickin' Mickey
I'm
Mouse
not
and
even aware of what comes out of my mouth most of the time. Somehow you're more aware than I am.
Yeah, because I have to keep you safe.
No.
I have to protect your smile.
That's
I
true.
am not Kenna. I am fine. That said,
The best part
Kenna?
of waking up
Who the
is
hell's Kenna?
Mikkel.
it's
and
the
your
dragon lolly from the.
I know that was Kana, and I was making a joke, and you're an
Nobody
idiot.
can cross it. Fuck you.
top. All right. Yeah.
Oh, we're so meta right now. All
We're
of this
too
is getting
meta.
cut.
All of this is.
All of this.
All of it.
This is solid
No.
gold, Nishant.
No, we saved.
It's
No,
too
no.
meta.
Look.
We need
Look,
to
look,
avoid
look.
meta.
There
It's
is a
getting too
compromise
meta.
here that you're both missing. We save this for later. We save it in the archives, right? We put it on a hard
see.
drive, and then once we have a Patreon set up, we ask them, hey, you want to hear all the garbage that Nishant cuts out? Here you go.
There it
feel
is.
I feel like we should this is like a nice format, but I don't think we'll be airing this as our first episode
No.
because Jesus fucking
Look,
Christ.
can we just start over?
No,
No, dude, we're 15
Then what are we
minutes
doing
in.
with this?
We have to. No,
It's
this is just
all
to
for
see.
experience. It doesn't matter if people enjoy it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's just that we're not. If we're gonna be, I'm gonna be going through this. I'm gonna edit and see what's what.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna see it as a raw sort of thing
Oh.
Yeah.
because we're not staying on topic. We're not going over the.
No,
points,
you
we're
haven't
not-
even gone over a
Yeah.
single question, Nishan. You're the moderator.
That's because
Wow.
people keep interrupting me.
We're waiting for you to bring it up. It needs to be
Nah.
natural. We can't just go, okay, Nishan, what questions do you have prepped for us? No. This isn't a
fine.
Do you
game
want to know what
show.
time sunset is? Sunset's
What
at
time is
8:08 today.
Oh,
Wait.
fuck.
Yeah.
Yo.
California.
Ew.
Did you
City
know
of
the
Compton.
reason? Did you know the reason that Kanye West had so much singing on his album 808s and Heartbeat? Is because Michael Jackson told him he sounded good.
I wonder if that was
I believe you
sarcasm.
told me that. But you will be providing all the Kanye West knowledge for this podcast. I think.
Welcome to Nishan's rap corner.
You're the
Kanye's-
most knowledgeable about his career and I don't know.
His with a capital H.
Right, the rise and fall of Kanye.
The fall.
I hope it's not a fall.
I hope not.
Kanye's always been a pretty fantastic artist, and like genius. That calling him a genius is like, it's a controversial thing, but it is fairly apt because what he does, especially in his earlier days, was like completely.
It was new and innovative.
New,
yeah,
it was awesome. It was
and because
like
it's
rejection of the modern.
Because it's you, I can't tell if that's
now,
sarcasm.
No. It's
it's genuine.
And, like,
okay, I wanted to be sure because
it's just that recently he sort of lost himself in this sort of.
He bought into his own hype. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, it's kind of, like, it's interesting.
It's interesting to see,
some of the things he says is still meaningful and it carries some weight to it, but, like, a lot of the time when he just, like, sort of, a lot of his music mostly is pretty, like, it's alright.
Kanye?
Yeah, like, recently. Life of Pablo was a meh album. It was, like, meh. It was whatever. It was strange and eclectic, but like
it didn't have much to like meat of it on it. Yeah.
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 And so it's like I want him to like sort of embrace, because like the same sort of like thing that created the rise of Kanye in the first place was that like hip hop was all the same. Everyone was talking about the same thing, and like it sort of started all over again with most of hip hop. Obviously, there's always going to be some side niche cases where like especially the independent hip hop scene. Besides all the people who are copying Future,
all of them.
Besides them, they always have like something interesting to say. But like, I feel like I want Kanye to make something cool again. I want him to like do his own thing instead of trying to copy other people's things and put his own spin on it. I like it best when he's just doing something out of like his own like genuine feeling of heart. Because whenever I feel like he tries to create something out of like thin air, when he's just like, oh, I want to make this story about this character, it's always like,
it feels a bit.
I mean,
forced.
I don't know,
right.
like, I don't know much of Kanye's work. The only thing I've listened to is College Dropout, was it? And that was good. But yeah, a lot of people have been saying like the new stuff hasn't been as good, which is unfortunate because I really did like College Dropout.
Yeah, College Dropout is such a great album. And
I mean, that's on the top 500 of all time in Rolling Stone.
Yeah, and like some people still say that that has been his like best album like ever. Like
quintessential Kanye.
Yeah, and right below that, like the second and third place aren't like slackers. Like Graduation is a fantastic album. My Beautiful Twisted Fantasy is awesome. Like these albums, like they have a sense of like, although some of the songs on them definitely haven't aged well, but like they're still good. It's still like inherently listenable, and like you jam out to it. It's awesome.
Definitely. That brings up a point I wanted to bring up. What's new with you guys?
Well, not much, honestly. I'm on vacation now, so I haven't been getting much done. It's great.
That's the point of vacation?
Yeah, it's great. I'm enjoying it. I've done work for the company, I guess, Downtown Studios, but...
You've done 30 minutes of writing.
Exactly. Not much.
I mean, not even 30 minutes of writing. You've done 30 minutes of talking and like 2 seconds of writing.
Yeah.
So what is that for? What project
that's
is that
for the prison project.
Prison
Specifically,
project.
How's that going?
That is going all right. We're on day 3 out of 7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A lot of interesting ideas coming out of the writing box.
How about you, Andrew?
Good stuff. I've been working on I'm the head programmer for our new project Narcolep, which is about like this little cat who suffers from narcolepsy. So it kind of works as like a platformer. But I've been working on that. I've been looking for something to watch on Netflix for like the longest time now.
That's the struggle.
I finished watching BoJack Horseman.
I've heard good things about that.
And that was fantastic. But now I'm just going back to watching like old Arrested Development episodes, and I like really need to like actually find something. I've also been watching this is me and my dad have just started watching a show called Aquarius. It has David Duchovny, and we enjoyed watching X-Files together, which David Duchovny was like the main guy there. And Aquarius is like a period piece set in the 60s about a couple cops who try to catch Charles Manson.
Oh.
It's very interesting. And it's got great music because it has to if it's set in the 60s. But yeah, I don't know. I've been playing. I've been really getting into like strategy games recently.
Oh.
I've been playing Crusader Kings every once in a while when I'm like too bored to do anything else.
I've seen that. You've said it's really complicated to play it.
I'm learning. I'm definitely learning. But
Andrew,
I've also
give us a metaphor for Crusader Kings 2.
Crusader Kings 2 is like hitting your head against a cardboard wall that has 8 other pieces of cardboard behind it. So every time you hit it, you get like one new thing done, and that's that piece of cardboard. And then you have to hit your head against it 8 more times before you truly like get through it. But it's great fun when you kind of get through it, because like the whole thing about that and like a lot of Paradox games is you're given this sandbox and you can do whatever you want with it. Obviously, it's not like there's nothing to do. You're given like you want to conquer. That's usually the ideal, is find out what de jure empires you're in and make it become the emperor. But I've also been playing another Paradox game. I've been playing Hearts of Iron 4 because I got that from my dad, and I logged in so that he shared it with me. Don't tell him about that. But that's been super fun. That's another very similar one. It's made by the same people, so like expected same type of game, only it's set in World War II.
Oh.
So I've been getting really into like World War II history. It's sweet.
Nice.
And then I watched Wonder Woman.
Oh, how was that?
Ooh, how was
I've
that?
heard that's good.
Garbage.
Really?
What?
I don't know. Wonder Woman was fine if you enjoy that stuff. I don't think the superhero formula really works with me.
I guess it does get formulaic. You always know they're going to win, don't they?
But,
and also, Nishan, just cut it so he just says it's garbage and nothing else, please.
Yeah. No, but
explanation.
I think they did a very good job with what they had. They had Robin Wright in it, and she was solid.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Okay,
Yeah.
It was set in World War One,
Right.
and I geek out about World War One a little.
It's a really uncovered.
World War I history.
It's a less covered World War in terms of Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's very interesting to look at like the history involved,
Right.
because in that war, like in World War II, it's very easy to say like Germany was the bad guys because they were the bad guys.
They were.
But like in World War
Yes.
One, they weren't really.
No. It was just a
kinda
domino
like-
effect of things. That it was the entanglement of international like relationships because of
Yeah,
secret alliances.
if you really
and such.
wanted a bad guy in World War One, you could either say
The government?
Japan or Austria-Hungary.
Yeah.
And they picked Germany for like the ultimate evil. Like, I guess that's easy to like digest for.
It's easier for an American audience. They're used to the World War II
who
setting where they're
don't
the
really
bad
know.
guys,
Yeah,
so.
they know the World War II setup, so it's easy to say, oh, the Germans, they're the bad guys. Bam. But like,
What's in
I don't know,
Austria-Hungary?
huh?
Oh, Nishan, let's not spend the podcast talking about World War One.
World War
Yeah,
One.
no, the joke was like Americans don't know anything. It's like
Yeah.
like what's in Austria?
You know what? Just cut out my
Yeah.
bit then. Never mind. But moving on to other
look at
superhero
all
movies,
this.
you know what I really liked?
What?
I wasn't expecting to, but I really loved Lego Batman.
Ah,
Really?
Like it was, yeah, it had that same Lego movie charm to it, where it tried to, appeal to both adults and children watching it, and it
And
worked.
it worked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the humor wasn't over the top, it wasn't overly complicated, and most of it was just physical or visual gags, but it worked.
Who was in
I think
that?
that's sort of like a.
I
thing
can't remember,
in,
but
like,
I can't remember, but because I tend to not pay
Good.
attention to that sort of thing, but I did like it.
nice.
Like
Okay.
it
I think it's
resolved
like
itself
a
well.
thing
It
with
played
a
with the
lot
fact
of,
that everything was made of Lego really, really well, and
Yeah.
it just
They did
pleased
that
me.
last movie.
No, they did, and it just pleased me that I don't know. They tried to go beyond what a normal superhero movie would. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just the heroes win. There was more to it than that, and I can't go into it without spoiling because I highly recommend you guys see that.
I see.
I
What were you
think
saying,
it's a thing that comes with like a lot of certain animations. Like, there's like a thing with the first in the series of any DreamWorks animations has like a million dirty jokes. Like, and then like the
Shrek?
next when they have a sequel, they like cut down on them. And then like by the third one, there's like not a single like butt talked about.
Aw.
Yeah.
No,
It's just like-
dude, Shrek 3.
No, like
talking DreamWorks.
Shrek 3 was
seriously,
Shrek 3 considered the
Are you talking
like,
DreamWorks
yeah.
or Pixar?
Yeah, well, both of them, because like specifically like Shrek, the first freaking Shrek had like, oh my god, like so many dirty jokes.
That's true,
Like-
but they didn't like shy away from them in the next couple, did they?
No, they did. They definitely did.
Huh.
They had a lot less like dirty jokes, and like they were less and less as they went along.
I don't think I've ever watched the first Shrek movie all the way through.
You're missing out because that one was the good one.
It was the good one.
Well, I watched 2, and that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, but it wasn't as
That
good as the
had,
first one. The first one was focused. It was tight.
That had Jamie Lannister in it.
Did it?
Oh yeah.
The second one?
It had Jamie Lannister in it?
It looked... There was a character who looked
Oh, I thought you meant
like Jamie
I thought you meant
Lannister.
literally. It had Jamie Lannister in it, like the actor.
But you know the Shrek style,
Yeah.
right? Like the humans look like kind of...
Humans look like actual humans. Yeah.
kind of
like they're
humans,
styled
yeah.
after-
So this one looked
yeah.
pretty much like Jamie Lannister.
Hey, I know what you mean. I just can't remember his name. Prince Charming. That was it.
Prince Charming, yeah. I don't know what was up with that movie.
I don't remember.
It was good though.
Fucking.
Dude, they had the
trip.
whole castle raid.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, with the giant gingerbread man.
That was pretty rad.
But it fell off
gingerbread
sharply
man.
after that movie, I think.
Oh yeah.
The third one?
The third one was not good.
I don't know if I watched the third one. What happened?
And then there was that one with
I don't know, some bullshit.
Ma, I'm recording.
What do they
Dumb.
do in the third one?
I have no fucking clue.
Okay.
Like,
I don't know.
Beyond me.
All I remember is that in the last one there was a whole thing about time travel, and he went to Rumpelstiltskin and was like, you know what? I'm sick of being a
What?
dad. Let's not make me a
Oh,
dad.
it's always the third one when they have to introduce time
I don't
travel.
know if it was the third one or if there was the fourth one.
I think that's
Shrek
the fourth
4D?
one.
No,
I
Shrek
think it's
4D
the
was
fourth
great.
one, where the time travel.
Shrek 4D.
Shrek 4D was fun.
Shrek 4D was a ride at Universal
Yeah, and it was fun.
Studios.
I liked it. Anyway. No.
I mean, it was literally just a movie where occasionally they sprayed you with water.
yeah. Who doesn't like
Yeah.
getting a...
That's the point. That's what 4D
That's the point.
is.
Yeah, it's all 4D.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
JoJo 4D ride coming. It's a Universal Studios Japan.
What is the first,
Nope. I don't
What
believe.
is the first 3D movie you've ever watched?
Oh, Spy Kids.
Spy Kids 3D. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Awesome.
in India when I saw
Was it
that.
was it
What?
dubbed over in Hindi?
Yeah. No, it was just English.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should rewatch Spy Kids.
Really?
No,
don't
we
watch
should.
it.
We need to. A hallmark of
'cause,
becoming an adult is coming to hate everything you liked about your childhood.
I thought we were gonna shy away from
This
depressing
isn't depressing.
topics.
It's just
What? Spy Kids
no.
3D?
Look, real talk, real talk,
no,
real
no.
talk. I am genuinely curious how well it would hold up. Because we
Spy-
can go
what,
back.
Spy Kids?
Yes, because we can go back. We can watch something like, say, Iron Giant, and we can still love it because Iron Giant's great.
I've never seen Iron
Oh
Giant.
my god, we need to watch
Same.
Iron Giant. Next podcast,
Yeah,
folks, we're
it's
watching
true.
Iron Giant.
That's
on the
not
podcast.
a podcast.
It is a podcast.
It is a
You can say
podcast.
start now and then bam.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but then there's no context. We're just talking about things that are happening.
Yeah, but the person can start Iron Giant at the same
Yeah,
time, and
and then
I
they
believe
could.
it's on Netflix
Yeah, then they
right
could
now,
swim in
so-
nostalgia with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not gonna have a freaking like 2.5
Why not?
hour podcast.
It's
No,
not like we've got a
but,
standard to hold up here. It's experimental,
No, I
Nishan.
can
It's an
almost-
indie scene.
I can almost
Yes.
guarantee you that Spy Kids 3D does not hold up.
Yeah.
Because the only selling point on it was 3D and star power, and like a crazy amount of star power.
It's true.
Like
It's true.
Elijah Wood, dude. What's the guy who was
Elijah
in
Wood?
Elijah Wood?
yeah, Elijah Wood was in that. You don't remember
No.
that? He's the guy.
I don't remember anything about Spy Kids except for the mech fight.
Oh.
Elijah Wood comes in at the at this crazy door that no one's supposed to be able to get through, and he's like the guy.
That was legitimately hilarious.
His title is the guy. He's the guy. He's like the
Which
only
is the
person
dumbest
who's
thing.
able to make it past whatever they're looking at. But like the minute he walks in there, he like gets disintegrated. It's great.
I don't remember any of that. The only thing I can remember from that movie is the mech fight, and that's it.
That has the guy from Reservoir Dogs in it as well. What the heck is his name?
One?
Mr. Pink.
Oh. Wait, Steve Buscemi?
Steve Buscemi's in that. And he plays the weirdest character.
Steve Buscemi's in Spy Kids. Well, now we need to rewatch
he plays
it, guys.
this scientist who's all existential. Do you know the line from it? Do you think God looks down on his creation?
Oh, that's where that meme comes from.
And he fears, or something like that?
Yeah, he
like,
fears
oh
what
my
he's
gosh.
It's just
what a weird line coming out of Spy Kids.
We do have to go back and watch that.
We do.
Okay, next podcast, folks. That's all we're doing.
We're watching.
No, Nishant, we need to.
We can talk about it afterwards.
No, Nishant, we need to.
Podcast.
We need to.
No, it's not how
A summing
podcasts
up
work.
of what we see in Spy Kids, going over the philosophical and psychological subplots.
That we apparently didn't.
That is something we
That's
can
something I
do,
missed
but
completely.
We're not going to watch it while we're podcasting.
I'd love to do that. That sounds like a great
Yes.
idea. All you need is a name, Mikkel, and Nishan will do it. That's how it works.
What? A name?
That's how it works at Dawn of Time Studios.
What?
You got a name for it? Bam! We're starting making it.
I mean, no.
Movie Time Studios.
There's a whole process now.
Hmm?
I set it out very lovingly.
That's true. You're right. So
Believe that,
make a detailed write up, Mikkel, and then we can
I'll
start
work on
working
that
on
now.
it. All right.
Oh my god.
All right.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No. First 3D movie I watched was Spy Kids, I think.
Yeah.
Or like a ride at like Disneyland or something like
Probably
that.
that.
Shoot, I bet there's like tons of rides at
There was
Disneyland
that.
3D.
There was a.
The Lincoln ride, is that 3D?
No idea.
There was a Goosebumps 4D theater thing. That might have been the first 3D thing I've seen.
At Disneyland?
No, it wasn't at Disneyland, I don't think. It was at Universal
Where was
Studios,
this?
I believe. Or SeaWorld, one of the two.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it count as 4D if you're in a car?
I'd say so, because the Harry
'Cause-
Potter thing's kind of like that. The new Harry Potter ride.
Oh, I haven't
Oh,
been
it is
yet.
so fun. It is fun. I mean, it
I
didn't
should do
work.
that.
The
No.
only problem is sometimes it doesn't work. So when me and my cousins went, it didn't work. It worked fine when me and us went. But when the next group of people in my extended family went, it didn't work for them. The screens would like not work. So and the ride would just stop and they'd be staring at a blank screen. But they wouldn't try to replay the screen. It would just move on. And so they missed most of the fun. The effects were still there,
Yeah.
like the fire and the water, but
That's nice.
and the sound.
The first 4D ride I went on then was the Back to the Future ride at
I have
Universal.
never been to that.
Same.
It's not there anymore.
Oh.
It was
Yeah,
replaced
they've
with the
obliterated
Simpsons
it.
ride, and then I think they replaced it with the Minions ride.
No, they replaced something else with the Minions ride. I've been on the Minions ride. It's okay.
Have you been on the Simpsons
Yes,
ride?
I quite like the
actually pretty
Simpsons
good.
ride.
The Simpsons ride was solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also quite love the. What I like more is the fried chicken joint right outside of it, because that place has great chicken.
Doc Brown's?
Yeah, no, Cletus's
yeah.
Chicken Shack.
It is. Oh, of course they change it with the yeah.
It was good
was.
though. Good stuff.
I never went to the chicken
Okay,
shack.
one of
at
these
least.
days
But,
we are taking you.
But yeah, Universal Backlot is what made me want to be like an actor.
Ah, is it?
Universal Backlot's great.
Yeah,
Oh, like the studio tour, you mean?
definitely.
Yeah.
That stuff's great.
So, like, something I want to talk about. Recently, I've been exploring fighting games.
Oh,
Because like through like watching videos about game design and like watching different opinions on like what makes a game good and hearing things about like a game that lasts a few hours versus legacy titles, which basically you just keep playing over and over again, and like the idea of competition in esports and stuff like that. And so, like, I've been really interested in the fighting game scene, specifically, like, the FGC, which is the fighting game community, because, oh my god, it is such a beautiful cesspool. It is something magical. Specifically, they have a subreddit called R Kappa, which the good things they do, which is they actually get together, they fundraise so that certain pros can go to certain tournaments. They sponsor.
That's pretty
pros
sweet.
because it's like, oh, that's rad. But the actual R Kappa, there are no posting rules besides don't repost, And so literally it's just like the posts are Capcom is shit. Capcom is shit. This other fighting game is cool.
That's
Buy
a
my
repost.
shit. But no. It's a different spin on it though.
Okay.
And so it's like Capcom is shit. Capcom is shit. Fucking play this fighting game instead of Street Fighter V because it's garbage.
Oh, they did Street Fighter 5.
Frickin' these, watch this frickin' pop off, look at these frickin' pros do something awesome, naked Asian girl, naked Asian girl, naked
Yeah,
Asian
so
girl.
I'm on the front
and then
page of
go back
RCAP,
to-
and literally the first post is pornography from Game of Thrones.
Wow. And we thought our Discord was garbage.
Yeah, it's a
Feel free to get the
magical
link in the
place.
description.
We're not giving out the links to the Discord.
To the Discord? No.
Yeah, please don't.
No. That's word of
Yeah.
mouth.
We already have too many randos
if-
in there. Including Gang
things
Gang.
like
Can we
the,
get that Gang Guy out of there?
For
If
context,
things like these
Gang Gang
do,
is one of
like,
our friends.
kick off and stuff like that, then we definitely should like have a community subreddit or a Discord.
Who uses Reddit anymore? God.
Discord.
Everyone uses Reddit.
I'm joking. That's
Frickin-
sarcasm.
Frickin' Reddit converted the Green Brothers.
I don't know what that
Or CGP
means.
graded. Never mind.
Hank
It's a-
Green and
Don't
what's his
explain it.
name?
I won't
John
understand.
Green.
That's
Hank and
okay.
John Green.
So what is new
Okay.
with you, Nishant? The two of us have talked. What's up with you?
No, what? It's
What do you mean,
I was
no?
getting into fighting games.
Oh,
Or
fine.
so
Excuse
I
me for
thought-
asking
I thought I was
questions.
talking about stuff, and so I got confused. So,
You thought
so,
you had
yeah,
to explain
so,
what was
like,
new.
I was like, yo, okay. So I looked through all the fighting games that people talked about and how many people told me it was
Mm-hmm.
shit, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear is a game that I believe the newest version is Guilty Gear Xrd 2, and I'm just like, that is the dumbest name.
It's right up there with
That is the
Revengeance,
dumbest
yes.
name.
It's not
but-
great.
But it had a really cool, distinct, cel-shaded art style that looks great. It uses 3D sprites but keeps everything 2D to give it that sort of cool like anime-esque like visuals, and it looks really, really great. And
Nice.
like the combos are really like, it has a really great learning system. It's very intuitive. It keeps learning the game instead of like the frickin' the training modes that other fighting games have, which is just sitting in a white room hearing to the same 30-second audio loop while you punch a dude hoping to finally land that combo after the 500th time.
Have you done the Skullgirls one yet?
It's pretty good, yeah, actually, but like
It's alright. It's the same
Yeah.
thing you were just saying.
yeah, but like there is some nuance to the Skullgirls one, and there's a lot of interesting things in the Guilty Gear one. That even teaches you about certain matchups and what combos you might want to do. And so I'm like, okay, this seems awesome. This seems like catering to like newer people without sacrificing like the legacy scale of like the pros. I'm like, this is rad. I want to get into this. But here's the thing, I'm a literary snob. I like reading books. I like thinking about narratives.
the narrative garbage?
And so I was just like, yo, I want to watch this. I want to look at this story. And they said, they're like, hey, the story is actually pretty cool. It's like an anime. You can just watch it instead of going through all the fights.
Wait,
And
the
I'm just like,
people,
oh,
people who made Guilty Gear said this?
I assume he means.
I don't think it's specifically the people who made
I
Guilty
think
Gear,
Nishant
but,
means
some of
like the people in the
who-
fan base or something.
Was this like
Yeah.
a Steam review?
No, it's like it was like talking about Guilty Gear and why people should play it.
Ah.
Oh, I see.
And so it was just like, I was like, yo, this seems pretty cool. And like the one thing that's annoying about like the one thing that's mainly about that fighting game stories that really annoys me, where it's just like, oh, it's all about like misunderstandings, like all the fights, just like, oh, you've disrespected me. I didn't mean to disrespect you. I'm mad anyway. I'm gonna punch you in the face. And I'm just like, I thought it's dumb. It's dumb and I hate it. And so it's like, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna start Guilty Gear story.
Was it exactly that?
No. It goes beyond that. So it starts off with a sort of like talking about, oh, look at all the stuff that's happened in the previous games. We're just going to run you through it.
Oh, that's nice that they do that.
Man. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm sort of on board. And it does this whole, like, vignette thing where it's just, like, important clips and it, like, cuts. And it's just like, oh, damn. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then it gets into the meat of the story. Oh, no. So already, like, apparently throughout, like, one of the things they didn't talk about was, like, some of the character relationships, which is like, oh, this one guy is king, and there's also second king and third king, but they're the same country.
Triple king?
See, that seems like a thing that you need to start with.
Yeah, it's just like, but like that first king is like not really related. Doesn't look like he's related to the second king, but the third king is his son from a half demon lady that is now asleep in a weird nightmare.
When did this turn into Bayonetta?
And I'm just like, okay, I'll roll with it. And then...
Suspension of disbelief is a little bit breaking here.
The plot line was like, okay, there's this evil lady and she wants to take over the world and kill all the humans and replace them with the weird magic demons.
Sure, sounds simple enough so far.
And then it's just like... And then it's like... She has to fuse... her child, who is also a demon, one of her, like, couple children that she has with the original demon thing. They're called gears. I'm going to start calling them gears now. They're basically people who have magic infused into them. And
that makes sense. Yeah.
Demon. Go on. And so these gears, she has to get her daughter to merge with the first gear, and that will end the world. And then it's just like, oh, like there was originally this person, and eventually they captured that daughter, and they eventually made friends with her, and it's like, yay, friendship. And then turns out one of the other people was also a daughter, and then like she became evil, but then friendship happened, and then she wasn't evil, but she was still captured, and now she's being held by her evil mom, and eventually they're going to build up enough power to fuse her with the demon thing, and then it's just
but that was the thing they're trying to avoid happening, isn't it?
Yeah, no. Like the evil.
No, but fusing. No,
just
thing. I'm so confused. I need a recap. So,
I'm confused.
Fusing the daughter with the first gear will end the world. But you're saying that the kids here want to?
It'll end the world for people.
Okay, but isn't that what they're trying to avoid doing? I mean, they're people, aren't they?
No. But they're gears. They're gears. They're
different.
So
this is like X-Men.
The psycho killbot will totally be cool with the people who fused her with some random girl. That's totally.
Where'd the psycho killbot come from?
That was the first gear. The first demon made by America. Okay. No shit, made by America. In-game, made by America.
I guess this is after a vengeance happened, then.
I'm just like, Japan, what
This is clearly said after a vengeance.
Retribution.
This is after a vengeance. Senator Armstrong went, you know what, just in case I die, I'm gonna make a waifu. I'm gonna make it want to kill the world.
No. Like, the actual story of the gears thing is hilarious, because it's like, one of the first gears was like this freaking... They took one of the scientists making gears and like, yo, let's make this guy into a gear. And I'm just like, fuck, that makes no sense.
But you need him to make more.
His wife,
why would you do that?
And then he ends up killing his wife. And then, like, his wife ends up becoming the robot demon, the first one, because it's the perfect gear.
What?
And so that's like the big one. It's called Justice.
How do people become gears?
And it's like,
why is it so easy?
Why are you so invested in this?
To create
it doesn't make sense.
I need to make sense of this. It bothers me now.
One of the things that they created with this demon robot, because it's made out of the dead body of the first gear's wife, because I don't know, and they just gave her like a freaking massive blue robot penis.
See, you've lost me now, because
it's like, what is happening?
Okay, look, okay. The Robodong, whatever, maybe it's just a cannon.
Can that classify as like fan service?
I guess. If you're into dong.
No, it's a very long, pointy blue spire, exactly where a dong.
I mean,
would
if
be.
you're into that, if you're into Dark Souls,
someone had to have said though, like you realize there had to be the discussion like one day in the boardroom, like after like a couple weeks that they're working like this, like the programmer just comes up to them and they're like, I think I was given the wrong design, the wrong sprites for this character we're working with, because I mean you see this, right? Like you're looking at this too. What I'm seeing,
like every shot, every piece of concept art, everything is angled specifically to target toward the dong.
It sounds very Freudian.
It does,
That's
yeah.
the thing.
I think the point
Is
is,
it-
the person who made Justice was made it to mock the person, the first gear, the frickin' scientist dude.
Justice is the name of this gear.
This gear that was made from his wife.
I will post this to.
I don't think this will make more
and you
sense
can-
if you show it to us, Nishant. I think we should just stop talking about the story now. Because
Yeah, because here's the thing. And because of this,
Oh,
not only
no.
have I realized it's just a big.
oh well, now you've got my interest. Hold on, let me scroll up.
No one saw this and was like, really?
Oh. No, that's fine. Honestly, my main issue is with the gigantic shoulder pads and hair.
The giant shoulder pads and hair are the only redeeming qualities.
Oh,
of
I
this
strongly
picture.
disagree, friend.
Here's a tail.
The tail wouldn't really. No, the tail is to balance out the
know.
shoulder pads when it walks. That makes sense.
And it's probably a she
yeah, the
or
shoulder
an
pads are
it.
big.
Andrew, please correct your pronouns.
Honestly,
Is it?
Nishant, because
Yeah.
it doesn't have like gyroscopic spheroid stabilizers under the spike, I'm sure it's fine.
Well, they didn't want to be too blatant. They
Yeah.
didn't want to
See-
get censored.
I want to go like in the lore of this. Like, what's the point of building that? Like, does she have a move
You know,
that
you guys
uses
remember
that?
you guys remember the
don't
USB
know.
spike from RoboCop that the main character uses to punch into computers? That's what that
No,
is.
I never
That's
watched
all that is.
RoboCop.
I have
That's
to
USB.
attack. Yeah. That's the
That's
whole
the point of it.
Yes, we found it.
We
It's
found
just
it.
it's
I
just
see.
a
So,
USB
Like,
drive
because
for an oddly
So, the main
triangular.
thing
Yes.
is
It's
that,
charging.
there's all these. The main thing I had the problem with
It's
Guilty
not
Gear
that
story
it's-
is that everything boils down to power of friendship.
That's how
bullshit.
everything is resolved. You mean?
All the characters look cool, and I think they were all designed separately, and they were forced to be in the story together because, like, the designs are all really,
just don't
really
fit
cool
together?
and interesting, and
What
it's
is
just
the-
like no, these are not like it doesn't look like they belong in the same
Right.
Interesting.
thing.
Whereas something like Skullgirls does that like really well. Like
They're all
of them
unique,
kind of
but they fit in
have,
the
like,
same
a-
art style. Yeah.
a cutely dark
Right.
kind of like idea behind them.
yeah, the
Like they were
twee.
designed with the idea of the game in mind.
So
I want to go on
Okay.
two tangents. One, at one point I saw there was like a talks about animation and
Right.
like the GDC, and there was the animator for Skullgirls there, and she was the one person who did all the animations, and like Skullgirls has a Guinness World Records for the most animation frames of any game, and so it's like, and I was just like, she won up there, she did a good presentation, but there was just this look in her eyes that she's dead, that it was a dead woman inside
All
there.
these,
And it's
frames
just
she had to write,
and it's
draw.
like it's like she's just there and she's giving the really good talk and she's really interesting, but her eyes are just like, kill me, please.
they're making a
They
sequel.
Look so tired.
Help.
They look so tired.
To what?
So Gull Girls. Yeah.
I see,
Okay.
yeah.
Your second
And she's gonna
tangent,
work on
Nishan.
it.
Yeah. Second tangent is because of that, I feel like not only are Japanese game studios running out of creative juices, I like to believe that how to explain the fact that these Japanese game studios are out of creative juices because they're just sort of like wacky. They don't really have a cohesive, interesting storyline. The inside stuff is all weird and interesting, but the overarching thing is the same as everything else you've seen. So I'd like to imagine that a Japanese game company is, let's say, like it's a five floor building. The first 4 floors are all working people. It's their 9 to 5. They come in, they start writing code, they start drawing animations, they start working with each other.
Like a normal
go
day
get
job,
coffee,
yeah.
They get alcohol after work. Yeah, like day job. And there's a lot of them, and that's why
At a
like,
game design studio.
yeah, at a game design studios, and there's a lot of them, a lot of them. That's why like you can create all these like. That's why like people like Square Enix always like push graphical limits. There you've got like a lot of people working on them, a lot of dedicated people, and then you go to the first floor, the
fifth
highest
one.
most floor, and you go.
It would be the fifth,
Top
yes.
floor.
Yeah, the fifth one, and you go into the product, the game design leads, and they're a bunch of old Japanese men. They're sitting around a table, and they all have a little like a small like rice bowl full of cocaine, and they're just freaking gone. There's one guy standing up, gesturing at a projector that's not projecting anything, and he's like, "Okay, guys. So they go to the cave. The cave has a dragon. The dragon says it has a legendary sword, but you kill the dragon, but the sword is not real. It was a test by the gods, and then you go."
Then the sword becomes your girlfriend, and you have to.
And then you have to find its sheath, and then it cucks you.
Yeah.
You leave that in. You need to leave that in. That was perfect. That was good.
Yeah. Oh, the whiteboard that they have is just like
it's blank. It's
scratched out. It's scribbled on, and it's someone's job to interpret what the board means.
But it's all written in Japanese, but half the words are in German.
Yep.
It's just like
no, and the German is all for their spells because that's the thing in the anime. They just pick words from a different language and make it into magic. And then when they use, say...
It has to be some Scandinavian
sometimes
language.
they're lazy. They use Spanish, and it's just like, wow. This is the least magical chant I have ever goddamn heard.
I see.
I'm pretty sure Bleach did that for like a whole arc. Everyone's named like Spanish names, and I was just like, this
and then every now and again, and into that 5th floor, every now and again, the person who needs to say code the controls of the animation goes, okay, so what are we doing? And then they just get screamed at by everyone on the first floor. Like, you don't understand my vision. You gotta listen. You don't get it, man.
Yeah.
What would your father
My
think
dad's
of what
dead.
You're doing?
My God. Yeah, exactly. And then that guy, he reports to the 4th floor below. Right? And then he go and
No. And that's why
exactly.
left Konami.
He was that guy.
Exactly.
No, he was that guy. He was the calm one. Oh.
The one day he was not invited to
No, it's not that. He was no. He was the
No. Have you seen the stories? It's
it a magical experience?
It's impressive.
It's impressive.
It's not good.
Like, it's like you look at it and you're just like, Kojima, I love you, but what the fuck? What the fuck is this? Don't give me this.
And Norman Reedus, bam, we got a game.
I'm super worried.
I
about
want
Death
it to
Stranding.
be good.
I
want it to be good.
I mean, we didn't see anything about it at E3, did we?
Yeah,
That's the
why I think
thing.
it's
That's
gonna
what's
be a piece of
worrying
shit.
about it.
I think it's gonna be garbage.
I really hope
Let's
it'll be
stream
good.
it if it's garbage. If it's not garbage, we don't play it. We don't talk about it. We never bring it up.
It can't be garbage because this is Kojima's flagship, and if it's garbage, then Kojima can't do anything else.
Look, just because this is flagship doesn't mean it needs to be good.
Going to be good.
It's not gonna be garbage.
I mean, to be fair, freaking like, what's it called? Daikatana was terrible, but
Yeah.
Deus Ex was awesome. And so was Anachronox.
No one plays
played
Anachronox.
It's got Guillermo del Toro
And
on it.
what's your point?
And Guillermo del Toro is
Look.
like solid.
Okay, Andrew, I have the best. Look, Andrew, I have the best analogy for this. Andrew,
I thought Guillermo del Toro was.
I have the best
on
analogy
there.
for this.
What's up?
Okay, you guys remember Pixels?
Google it.
That movie? You remember how it had?
Yes.
Remember how it had the
Sandler
half
movie?
man from Game of Thrones on it? He didn't.
Yes.
He couldn't save it. He is the best.
true.
Of course he
Because
could.
no,
It was an
He's
Adam
the best
Sandler movie.
actor, which by all rights should have redeemed it, but it didn't. Here it's the reverse.
I mean, like,
right? We're expecting it to be good because
Yeah.
it's directed by
It's
Hideo
like,
Kojima.
it's-
But look, it didn't even appear at E3.
But you're negating the fact that was an Adam Sandler movie.
That's true.
You're underestimating
The one
Peter
thing is,
Dinklage.
like,
He has saved lesser things.
Peter Dinklage. What lesser things? Peter Dinklage has been in all good movies except for the one.
I mean, he's probably been in some bad movies as well.
Probably. Every actor is at the
Also,
start
he
of
Wasn't
their career.
Destiny? Yeah. He was.
Yeah.
He sounded.
He was the annoying robot that no
They
one really
took out the
enjoyed.
best
was it?
line in the game.
Did they?
That wizard came from the moon.
That's a great line. Why did they take that out?
It became a meme, and
Why-
then they took it out of the game, and that makes
Why did they take it
That's
out?
annoying.
That's such
to
a
me.
good
Why did they do
line.
that?
I have no fucking clue.
They
There
also
is-
have
there
Nathan
is
Fillion in
no,
that.
Like, there is no like basis for that.
You know what? Just cut out the parts where my family talks. Just.
That's fine.
If you're putting
I'm
in
sorry.
the effort, yeah.
It's just.
But I don't
I
suggest
don't have
putting
a
in
room
the
to
effort.
record in. This is the only room with an Ethernet cable set up, so...
At some point,
You don't need an Ethernet cable if you're
Oh, if I...
podcasting. I don't have
At
an
some point,
Ethernet
we're
cable.
gonna be all sitting in the
that'll
same
be much
room and
easier,
doing this. You thought about that?
then we
That'd
could
be
watch
nice.
Minions and
Yeah.
laugh at it. Or not...
Get an omnidirectional mic.
We have an omnidirectional mic.
Huh?
The idea, no, the thing is, like, we all get our own mics.
Nah, omnidirectional mics are what's usually used for an in-room podcast.
Welcome to the technical podcast
No,
corner.
people usually use their own individual mics, and they all get put into one thing because it lets you, like, separate and make things all clean.
Yeah, but you're talking about an audio mixer, and you were already saying, like, getting an audio mixer is a pain.
Oh, no, that's because because we're poor and shit.
Oh, yeah, the whole
Audio
biscuit.
mixers are like $100 to $200. It's not like, oh,
Okay.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I see your point.
Plus,
and
we don't need
so-
them if we're not in the same room.
The main thing I think the main reason I think Death Stranding is going to be shit is because, like, Hideo Kojima made some statements about, like? Video games. And he said he made the statement that video games are becoming more cinematic and more like movies.
But that's
And I'm
not
just
what we
like,
want, is it?
No. That is
Like, we want
definitely
Doom.
not what
We want new Doom. We want more of that.
But-
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Hideo Kojima has had solid game design in the past, so, like, him saying it's going to be more cinematic, but also focusing on game design
No,
is
it's
not
not necessarily a bad
Like,
thing.
That's true.
Metal Gear Solid 5 was
It
crazy
was, and it was also
cinematic.
quite fun for how little I
that's true.
played of it, or how little I was
Yeah.
able to play.
But, like,
Exactly.
the main thing that people really liked about it is that the story was, like, something they could completely ignore. Which
But
is not really
saying-
what you do with a movie.
Saying that Hideo Kojima says one sentence and suddenly he's the next, like, David Cage. Is like...
Cage, Rage Cage. I'm actually really excited for that
Are
new
you?
game he's working on.
What is
Is he
it?
working on a new game? A new Quantic
Yeah,
Dream game?
well,
I'm
ooh.
crazy excited. because I
Detroit-
actually, like, respect him. I know
What?
very few people respect David Cage, but I actually
What?
respect him.
Who is David
We do.
Cage?
A lot of people don't respect
gonna
David
have
Cage.
to- you're
He's
gonna have
Quantic
to-
Dreams. He did Heavy Rain and stuff like that.
Was Heavy
Fahrenheit? And you have to
Was
just-
Heavy
Yeah,
Rain
no
not
one respects
good?
Fahrenheit. Heavy
Rain
Rain
was
is
alright.
fine.
Oh, he did
Heavy Rain
Beyond.
has a
He did
really
Beyond.
good story. Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
god, never mind.
Heavy Rain had a fantastic story, but it brought light to the idea of
yeah.
QuickTime events and the whole idea of not real
Right.
gameplay. So a lot of people really had kind of issue with it, like the stuff that
Oh,
it
you should
kinda
have just said he was the
became after
Fahrenheit
it.
guy. I would have recognized it immediately. No.
Yeah. Heavy Rain is his like is his
good, his
mo-
one
like,
good thing.
Oh, he's
magnum
working on
opus.
Detroit, Become Human.
Yeah.
Kind of a tall order for a
Yeah,
city,
that,
that.
that looked really cool.
Wait, that's
Apparently
David
so.
Cage?
Yeah, that's David Cage.
No one told me that when we were watching that.
Yeah, I did.
No, you just said it was like David Cage.
So it was.
And it is David Cage. That's
The game
completely
industry is
different.
nothing
Dude,
but
I'm
predictable.
crazy excited about that now, actually.
I mean, I'm pretty excited for it too as well. Because
I want it
Yeah.
to be garbage just to spite both of you.
It's a PlayStation
Oh, it'll
exclusive,
definitely be
right?
garbage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Watch.
Yeah.
When has a PlayStation exclusive ever been garbage?
I mean, actually, that's
ooh.
very valid because recently they've been kind of on fire.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
their E3 was worse than Xbox's. I do have to say.
Sony?
what is the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
Well, except for Beyond Good and Evil 2 was obviously
Well, yeah.
a highlight, but like,
But that was Xbox, wasn't it?
Who is E3 for,
no.
guys?
That's Sony?
Who is
Who's
E3
that?
meant for?
Huh?
Like, is it
What do you mean?
aimed at people who play video games or their sponsors? Do you think?
it was originally aimed at the gaming media,
Oh.
and so then they give it to them, and then they give
Okay.
it to the consumer.
Because I never got the feel that it was meant specifically for gamers, because they sort of just tiptoe around the games, and then, like, when they show it, it's like this scripted gameplay of people not messing around. Like, what's that game with that synchronized sniping mechanic where everyone points at one thing and then they synchronize their shot?
Ooh,
Yes.
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
It was like that.
Yeah.
No one's ever gonna play the game that synchronized except tryhards.
I feel
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of becoming more about the gamers themselves as like things like streaming get like more popularized and things like that. But for the most part, it's still more for right now for the most part, it's in a weird medium between for gamers and for executives. So like that's why you get all these like E3 cringe compilations and stuff like that, because it's like
I'm so sorry.
I think last year was very, like, I don't think it was peak cringe. I think it was, like, there's been cringier moments, but it's, like, that's when the public was most aware, like, hey, this is bullshit.
Yeah, I think this E3 was pretty solid. I think last E3 was, like, kind of and I think the E3 before it was even more kind of
I think last year's was, like, bombastic because the few game announcements they made were, like, hype as shit.
Yeah.
Because you got, like, the Switch, new Zelda, frickin' Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and it was Shenmue 3. They're just like, game, and none of them came out.
None of them came out.
Yeah. Except for New Zelda.
Except for Nintendo. Nintendo's got it. They don't know how to handle PR. They don't know how to handle YouTubers. They don't know how to
handle hardware.
They make video games.
That's all you really need from them, yeah.
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 A game company? Yeah.
Like, I don't want my, say, Xbox to connect to Facebook or tell my friends that I suck at a game.
Yeah.
I can do that myself. I can do that by just playing with them.
Oh, man.
They know. You guys know.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Speaking of, do tune in for our streams every Monday.
Text on that.
3, right? 3, 2, 1.
1.
Oh, that was a good countdown. Well done, friend.
3, 2, 1.
All right.
Yeah. We're looking at more streams.
Speaking of,
hopefully. Any idea, Nishant, as for like dates?
More streams. I think sometime either over the weekend or we're gonna have a stream on Mondays as well. Maybe also on Fridays, but those might not be me doing them.
Right.
Might be other people.
Well, we need you because you got the setup.
But here's the thing. We're an hour and 2 minutes into this podcast, and you know what that means?
Sponsor time?
Sponsors.
Sponsors!
So, the Lonely Time podcast is proudly sponsored by the David Cage Rage Cage, which is the David Cage Rage Cage. Press X to not die.
Today, the Downtime Studios Lonely Time podcast is sponsored by Sendai brand cocaine. Used by executives in Japanese fifth floors everywhere in Japan.
In Japan specifically.
Mikhail, who are we sponsored by?
We're also sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts Kofifi. There's nothing to start off your day like a hot cup of Kofifi.
You said no political jokes. None. Damn it, Mikhail. God damn it. You and your vintage memes.
It's a month-old meme. I was in school by the time that thing was dead.
But no, I'm sorry. Look.
What we had was funny, and you're just like, you know what? Fuck that.
No, but in all seriousness, real talk. This podcast and its affiliate space program is sponsored by Blue Apron, bringing fresh ingredients to your door every day for the low price of 25 shekels.
Very nice.
Words. It has to be relevant to what we said beforehand. That's what
You're right. You know, we're also sponsored by Sony. No longer tied down.
3D.
Move your body free. You don't remember the old press releases for the PS Move? Oh, you guys don't remember that?
It has to be.
It was so good though. It was just him going, "You're no longer tied down." He's trying to demonstrate the motion controls, but they suck. So he's just kind of flailing at the screen. Oh, I can't believe you guys don't remember that.
Oh boy,
brand cocaine was hilarious.
It was.
So.
Do you think we're getting out of the age of motion
I hope
controls?
to God we are.
Yes.
Because tilt controls are an abomination.
I think we're getting into the era of like VR and like hopefully more like
VR is great
personal
though.
VR. But less motion controls.
That's my main gripe with it. Because, like, you can make it as interactive as you want, but there will be so much missing from the experience. Like, you're not going to be able to get, you're not going to be able to get smells or the kinesthetic feeling right. Yeah.
The actual feeling of it.
Like, you can grab an anime titty,
yeah.
but you won't get that feeling or that weight.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Or say if we got like Far Cry VR, and God forbid we do, because That would just give me a headache.
I feel like that brings us too close to like the violence. I don't know. There's some like there was talk of this when GTA 5 was brought to first person, and everyone was like, because GTA is something you can fairly easily remove yourself from, like because you can see the character doing it. It's not you doing it. It's this character doing it. You just push the button. But when you brought it to first person, it brings it that much closer to yourself and makes it that much more difficult to like remove from yourself. And I feel like VR kind of does that as well. And Far Cry is definitely like a series where like it's GTA kind of level with like violence and like,
I don't know that the
cynicism and
first
stuff like
person
that.
perspective would do that much though. Like just
They didn't end up doing much.
Hear me out on this, right? Because a lot of games have you killing things and people in first person, like say, I don't know, Dead by Daylight. You play as a killer. You brutally put people on a hook, and then watch them as they struggle and get sucked into the ether by like Lovecraftian monsters. Or
like,
not Dead by Daylight, but PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Yes,
PUBG?
You just hide in a corner.
That's
you can play in first person.
game.
It's much more terrifying. You can't see.
Yeah.
But my point is that the first person perspective only lends itself to make you feel like you're actually in the game, to the extent that you allow it to, because you realize pretty soon that it's not you in it. There's this detachment.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that really that sort of first person thing like really comes to is about like context, because like
well said.
People were worried about GTA because like, oh,
in
you
a city,
were a dude in LA.
Yeah,
and
and it very clearly like designed after LA City.
Yeah, and like in Dead by Daylight, it's like you are
a killer. You have
like,
magic.
This is the role you're playing. You have to accept this role. And even in PlayerUnknown Battleground, it's like that violence is not actually like what you're there for. You're not spending a majority of your time gunning people down in PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. You're spending most of your time shitting yourself in the back room
then what
of some
about
house.
GTA 5 Online? Then.
The thing is about GTA 5 Online is that like a lot of the moralists were saying like, oh, the first person perspective really puts you in there and you're getting all rude and gory with it. But honestly, most of the fan base is like, yo, I'm gonna go to a strip club.
That's true. Or I'm gonna do sick flips with a motorcycle.
It's a lot of it's like a lot of people don't use it because, like you said, with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, there's like a different feel when you're playing.
You have no
first person
peripheral
to third
vision.
person.
It's just less. Yeah.
There's no peripheral, and the third person gives you that, and like it's a different field of view. So like, why would you?
I suppose it's the same for GTA 5 because when you put the camera that close, you can't see your peripherals that well, and it's the same sort of issue. Don't mind my family in the background. Just cut all of that out.
Tell your brother I say
Tim,
hi.
Andrew says hi.
He doesn't even know who I am. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see VR work because I know VR has been like so difficult to get to work for like the longest
I'm happy
time.
with the strides that they're making. Like we got the Rick and Morty VR game recently. That's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
We also got the John Wick VR, so
and
that's also putting things in the right direction.
I think a lot of people were like trashing the VR showcase at like E3, but like really,
we need
that
innovation.
stuff.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's something different, and that's really its main purpose, isn't it?
If someone doesn't force us to accept this, we're not going to, and it's not going to innovate. It's not going to like succeed. I don't know.
Also, freaking Super Hot VR was awesome.
Oh my god, yes.
I think that game was really great. It was really very well made for the VR system because like issues with VR involve motion sickness, and that game like puts you in one place and doesn't move unless you move.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I thought it was like very I thought it was like a very smart thing to do, and it's much cooler than just Super Hot by itself, which is already a very cool concept.
What do you think about Doom VR, Nishant?
Doom VR could be cool.
Ooh. I do not think so.
Like, I think it would be okay as just an arcade shooter, but as a Doom thing, it wouldn't be much fun. Because the whole point of Doom is that you move around, you punch things, and then you jump around from vantage point to vantage point.
Running gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the very old, it's
like
the old
the
90s
mobility.
shooter kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you're the only one here who's played the new one.
I played a demo. I played it at a friend's house once, but that was it.
Oh, okay.
It's
It is
beautiful.
great. It is fun.
It's
a shame.
work of art.
I mean, it
No, it does
doesn't
not.
mess around.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't mess around.
It's what Doom
especially not
3
recently.
should have been.
Being bought by Bethesda has been
It's
great.
what Doom
for them.
3. Doom 3 was
never played
terrible.
Doom
What
3.
it was, and I do praise it now for doing this, but it didn't put objective markers around, so you'd end up just wandering the same dark hallways all the time. Monsters would appear out of nowhere. You'd never have enough
Yeah.
ammo to deal with them, which is
Such
good for
dark
tension
hallways.
building, but it very quickly became frustrating and stupid.
I have seen the images online of like the decreasing difficulty in like Doom map making, like the layout of the Doom 1 map, and it'd be like this crazy
It's
like
supposed to be a maze
intricate,
because
like,
you're supposed to look for secrets and such. Yeah.
maze of twists and turns and stuff like that. And Doom 2 is like that, but a lot less, kind of like maybe like a very clear path or something like that. And then Doom 3 was like a straight
Doom
line
3
or
it
something
definitely
like
was
that.
not. There was less map, but it was harder to find
Maybe.
things because they were all in the dark.
And maybe it was
I
just Doom
don't
2.
know.
I don't know.
I just remember quitting Doom 3 because I just ended up getting lost and unsure what to do. Because you'd pick up key cards, you wouldn't know where to put them. Or maybe it's because I'm stupid and I wouldn't figure out where to put them, but, you know.
Doom 3 made it kind
I
of a
tried
spooky
to.
game,
It
right?
didn't really work because the only jump scares were demons. You're used to shooting them with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Like, if it had just held off on the demons for a while and it was just, you know, it didn't really reveal to you what you needed to do or you needed to scramble away from demons to pick up a pistol or something, then I would have approved of it, you know? Because then it would have built tension organically because you're useless without your gun. But no.
I think it definitely is like. It definitely did that with the initial, part of Doom 3.
With the initial cutscene where you...
But like, it definitely.
But it got weaker as you picked up more
definitely got
guns,
weaker
which
overall.
was a real shame. It just sort of became a shooter with a Doom aesthetic.
Interesting. Okay.
So let's talk about something different.
Beyond video games?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of our life.
So-
Memes?
I mean, like,
Memes.
what do you look? Okay,
What do we look...
what do you look for in something that you want to consume? What do you look for in a movie, in a
want to
game,
consume.
or in a TV show?
I want to be...
Do you look
In a
for
game?
different things, or do you
that's-
look for?
I look for different things
something-
depending on the.
Well, that tends to be fairly
the
easy. I want to be
medium.
entertained. Like, at the same... Like,
Yeah.
as an example, let's just look through my Steam library real quick. Like, I actually, unironically, I enjoyed Goat Simulator for 20 minutes before I got tired of the physics. And at the same time, I also really liked House of Cards. Like, it's thought-provoking. It's quite comparable to... You know, I'm not going to go there. Nope. But it's thought-provoking. Its pacing is fantastic. And it raises...
Definitely.
No,
Have you seen the new
don't
season?
spoil it for me. I'm on season 1. I am watching with my family.
I
It's
won't.
great. I
You're
just
on
started
season
with
one.
them, yeah.
It is very good.
But what I
Yeah.
want, I guess, is for things to make me ask questions. In Goat Simulator's case, it's how much does it take to send the goat into space? But it tends to be that simple. But
You gotta have
But
that like
for
depth
video games,
behind
it's like
something.
what is the basic moral thing is what's right, what's wrong, and I feel like that's the main question. That's the main thing I look for. Like, I want a game or a movie to make me question things, question myself, question it. You know, like
I think
So
Yeah.
when you say, so basically what I'm sort of gathering is that, like, if you to pick something up, you need it to be to entertain you, and for you to enjoy for you to say that you like something, you need it
Yeah.
to challenge you.
what would you?
I think the question between what makes you start something and what makes you stick with
That's
something
true.
is a completely
Okay, what
different
makes you guys
question.
start stuff? What gets you hooked onto it?
Well, I like something that like really speaks to me, like something that like if it's like a character based thing, I can definitely like. I know who the character is within like the first 5 minutes, and I can know their conflicts
like-
and stuff like that. Within,
like most
the first
animes
5
then.
minutes.
You know what I mean, Nishant. Especially card game
Yeah,
animes.
but-
Just
but-
oh my god.
That's the thing where like staying power kind of like falls off with me. Like staying power for me definitely has to come from like a deeper kind of like there's something there
That you're
that I'm
invested in,
missing.
right.
And with the game, with a game there has to be like a lot that I can do with it. That's why like strategy games really like talk to me. Like I can start a game of Civilization and I can play as Japan and I can take over the world, or I can play Japan and I can go to the moon, or I can convince everyone to be friends with me or something like that.
It's open-ended.
I've played Isaac. I played The Binding of Isaac Rebirth for over 500 hours in Steam because there's so many combinations and there's so many like things to do and so many like synergies, they call it in Isaac. So that like I want to see what comes next and stuff like that.
How about you then, Nishan? What gets you hooked and what makes you stay on stuff that you get interested in?
I am a massive fan of narrative. I mean, something that nothing ruins anything quickly for me than me predicting the ending.
That's always the worst.
And if something is predictable, it is
you would love
garbage
JoJo,
to me. And so, yeah, of course.
Is there a difference between predictable and just random?
Yes, there definitely is. Because if you are just random constantly,
that just falls off and that becomes boring. Yeah, I think that's the problem with with things like Deadpool, say, like the video game. Because he'd have
I thought people generally enjoyed the video game.
I like the video game as well. It was well executed, but the main thing is, and let's compare it to the movie for this, there was a lot of repetition. Like, he'd say the same zany lines, and they'd be great God, zany. What am I, a middle manager? Fuck.
Oh, look, yeah.
Like,
dude,
don't never say that.
Don't ever question the zane.
Clearly.
Yeah. Don't ever question the zane. The zane is there.
Anyway, so the main problem was he'd have a set of one-liners, and he'd use them all the time. And they'd be random and funny at first. And then it would just kind of fall off. And the same goes for the visual gags and the cutscenes, because you'd expect something stupid to happen. It's Deadpool.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting for one thing to just go, you know what? No, nothing's happening. They're just gonna have a safe, like, uninhibited trip in a giant robot foot. It's gonna be like a road trip. It's gonna be Final Fantasy 15.
I feel like that's cool.
Like, the thing is that's like really affected me is that, like, because of like my focus on narrative, not only have I become way more comfortable stopping in the middle of a series and just like throwing
I've
it
never
away.
been able to do that.
Because like I used to always binge. I used to just watch a series all the way to the end, doesn't matter how bad it gets.
You still do that with anime.
Not really.
Have you?
Stopped. Only with something that like can.
You say that, but you binged all of My Hero Academy.
At this point, though.
Yeah, but like I still found it pretty interesting, because like it's strange enough that I can still.
It's still
like,
unique
hold
enough
my attention.
to do so.
Yeah.
You'd like Berserk then.
And so like.
No, not Berserk anime.
Anime
Not the Berserk anime.
suggestions.
Not those. The actual comic.
Is
it's
it not
both.
an anime?
It's both.
No, it is an anime.
The new anime is terrible. The 90s anime is okay, but it lacks the certain. Like, the animation doesn't do the comic justice, as you'd expect.
Art justice. And so, like, not only have I gotten really comfortable with stopping in the middle of a show and throwing it away, I've also gotten really comfortable with telling other writers that what they're doing is shit.
How often have you done that?
Because
with who?
Yeah, I don't know. I've ever heard you say that.
College exposes me to a lot of people, and those people have a lot of ideas of what they think they're doing. A lot of people have stories. A lot of people have poetry. A lot of people have a lot of different kinds of narratives.
A lot of people have video game studios.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fuck those people.
When I look at when I start, one of those peoples is going to be paying your paycheck. Maybe watch your shit.
I get paid?
And so. Yeah,
I thought this was like,
not pro bono. This is.
I thought this was indentured servitude. I'm very confused.
Time, but you know.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Go on.
So basically, people have these stories, and I just sort of sit there and I'm just like, this is kind of this is kind of lame, honestly. And they're just like, what? And they're just like, yeah, it's predictable. And then I say the ending of their thing, and they're just like, what the fuck? And
I feel like they should be able to like accept that criticism, though.
They do. They definitely do. But, like, I feel like I'm kind of a dick. Like, I say everything about it, and I highlight the inconsistencies and what I think is wrong. And
no,
like,
believe you me, Nishant, the most biting thing about
like,
what you tell them
like
will be that they believe you and they agree with you. Because that'll be what bothers them. Because if they disagree with you, it won't bother them at all.
I've written a book or two before, and, like, getting that, like, hey, maybe you should fix the ending a little. It's a little predictable. Is crazy helpful.
But it's biting though, because you know it's true. You've read it, you wrote it, and you're like,
Well, the thing is, you can't see that from when you're writing it because it's in your own mind as the writer. Like, but like having someone else say that is super helpful because like suddenly you can see like, oh, from an outside perspective, yes, this is pretty predictable. But like for the entire time you've been writing it, it's been up in your head this whole time. So like it of course it looks predictable to you, but like if it looks predictable to someone else, then that's when you can say, oh yeah, it's probably a little too predictable.
Which is funny because of like it's funny that like I mentioned that because I've actually looked at some of my early that you mentioned writing because I've looked at my own writing from the past and oh my god, it's shit.
I look at my own writing and I'm just like, wow.
Predictable?
It's predictable. It sticks to tropes. It has lines in it that I think I put in there because I thought it'd be an interesting thing for someone to quote.
As I'm remembering back, you did focus a lot on... I mean, I think every, like, young writer focuses on tropes, because memes. What else do you focus on?
It was memes for
right?
me. Nishant, you remember.
But, like,
you saw.
Of course it's predictable to you, because you wrote it. That's what I'm saying. Like... So it's so useful to get that outside perspective from someone else. You can't look at your own writing and say, oh, that's terrible because it's predictable. Because it's your own writing. You thought it.
No, but like it's predictable.
You're not going to come up with an unpredictable ending yourself.
Obviously not.
No, but like it's predictable from the stance of like the things that would happen.
From an outside perspective, it's predictable?
Yeah, because it's like the person who wrote that story and the person who's reading it is honestly very different, even though they're technically the same person.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I do really enjoy like a good narrative.
Who doesn't, honestly? It's just when it overwhelms.
But
like in the case of video games, when it just overwhelms the gameplay, it kind of ruins it for me, you know.
I always kind of find it difficult to like tell when it's a bad narrative, though.
When you go back on it, I think that you really see it.
I think that's true. Or someone else has to say, yeah, that's kind of not great, and then you have to
look
like,
at it from their perspective and
like
see what their critique of it is. Yeah,
you have to look at it from a different perspective, and that's like a whole job in and of itself.
Well, what game was that for you, where you look back and you go, you know what, that wasn't as good as I thought it was? Yeah,
that wasn't that great. I played a lot of the Harry Potter games when I was young.
I've never played a single one. Am I missing out?
Aren't those just
Wizard Call of Duty sounds amazing.
No, not really, because I mean they focused on
Call
the
of
Harry
Duty
Potter
Wizards
story,
at War?
and that's not all like with Call of Duty, which is like manly testosterone,
No, I
bam,
thought, like,
bam.
The gameplay of it. The gameplay.
Like you just shoot magic at people.
Because I'm pretty sure you yourself had said that.
I do not remember, but I do remember kind of enjoying the fifth one. But going back to it, it's like not good in the slightest.
Okay, how about you, Nishant?
Honestly, I love watching reviewers and like reading reviews because I want to find out how to be more critical of certain things and like come up with new ideas of what works and what doesn't. I've played very few bad games.
You are missing out. That was my childhood.
That's true. I don't know if I've played a lot of bad games. I mean, are you considering like Flash games?
No, because
like I've played
I don't think we can count Flash games because they're produced with much less like ability. Flash can only do so much.
Yeah. It's
probably
just
the worst game I remember playing, but like critically the worst game I've played I think has to be like Borderlands the pre-sequel, and even that's like not bad.
I've never played any Borderlands games
Borderlands
past
the pre-sequel is
2.
very small.
I
You
played
played
2,
two,
yeah. I just never got the DLCs for it. I wanted
That's
to, but they were expensive at the time.
Yeah.
I'm looking through my games, and I don't know if
You
I
can
find
sort by
one that's, like-
Metascore if you search if you sort it by like a different way. Yeah. Oh, not recent.
Oh, I haven't talked about my game that I went back and didn't like. Yeah.
Oh,
well, I've
please
told
do.
you guys about this before, though. That's the thing. And for me, it was Bioshock Infinite. And before you people pull out your pitchforks, put them away. Put them away. Don't riot yet. No.
Uh-huh.
What ruined it for me was
Why-
the first
why-
time I was enthralled by it. The shooting was fun. I wish they could have done more with the fact that the city was in the sky, you know? Like, there was never anything to fix to make sure the city didn't fall out of the sky. Like in Bioshock 1 and 2, that was a big thing, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. They have a whole big thing
But
about
no,
that, yeah. But like
Not
only
at the very
end,
end.
in like a
It
cutscene.
never came up again. The sky system was perfect, somehow. And that was dumb for
Yeah.
me. But
yeah, definitely.
the main thing that bugged me about it, and this is at the very end when I went through it again, because I thought, you know what, maybe it's not illusion of choice. Maybe I do have a freedom. And this isn't
Oh.
a spoiler anymore. The game is several years old. Where Booker doesn't just get choked
Yeah.
in the water by a harem of his daughters. I thought, and I found
Oh.
out that it is indeed an illusion of choice, because I did the exact opposite of everything I did the first playthrough. And I realized, if this is really an infinite universe, every time anyone dies, it just branches off to a path where they decide not to do that thing.
Well, that's the whole
And so it's kind of
philosophical,
pointless.
thing it brings up then,
and
isn't
it's kind
it?
of pointless, because it's like, everything you did was under the presumption that this was all fate. This is unavoidable. This is the only thing that happens. But no. At any point in that...
Well, that's
I
intentional,
don't know,
isn't
but
it?
I'm just saying why I didn't like it, so just hear me out, yeah?
It is.
So, the main thing I didn't like
Yeah.
it was, like, it says it's infinite, and then their whole thing was like, we gotta end the cycle by killing the original Booker, but that wouldn't fix shit. I'm sorry, let me say that again
Yeah.
so Nishan can put that back in. That doesn't fix a thing. You're ending one timeline in a
Yeah,
span
I mean,
of infinite timelines. It's like trying to kill an anthill by squishing an individual ant. It doesn't...
Anytime you bring time travel into a story, there's gonna be
I
some
know,
kind of like...
I'm just... It's always... It's just that this has bugged me for
I'm agreeing with you.
years. And
Yeah,
I like the
definitely.
game in every aspect except that, and the fact that, like... Well, this and the fact that upon a second playthrough I realized, for a city built in the sky, this is really, really cramped. Like, you spend most of your time indoors, you don't leap from building to building like I thought you'd be able to, you know? Because that's what I was...
Yeah, you do.
No,
In
but that's
Infinite?
via the skyline. I'm talking like jumping just from... You know what I mean?
Oh. Yeah.
And it's very
yeah.
limited. It
The
was
skyline
cool.
was sweet,
It
though.
was really cool. And I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying that I was disappointed by the fact that the world still felt so weirdly claustrophobic despite a city being in the sky. I'm sad that there was never even in a cutscene a thing where you could crash a house into another house. Because all the houses were flying independently. And that was sweet. But, you know...
Yeah.
These are just nitpicks. I've said my piece.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have an issue when it comes to like time travel. I've never
There's
really
always
had
going to
that
be an issue with
before.
time travel because the rules are inconsistent and change with every time they're used.
Yeah.
And this happened with
yeah,
Samurai
definitely.
Jack,
But
too.
I always enjoy those
No,
kinds
they're
of
always
stories.
they're good
like,
if done right. Except when applied to Harry
yeah.
Potter.
I've just seen a couple like they do wrong, and I've
Except when
definitely
it happened
enjoyed
with
those
Harry
as well.
Potter. I assume you guys haven't. Harry Potter and the
Potter
Cursed
was
Child.
weird.
Have you guys read that?
Oh no,
No.
I thought you were just talking
No,
about
the Time Turner is fine because it that was simple.
That was
You
simple.
couldn't
Yeah.
You couldn't make yourself unborn by preventing your dad from shagging your mum. That wasn't a thing. That was just Back to the
Yeah.
Future. But that was simple. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child took it a step further
Yeah.
and made the whole plot revolve around it. And every interaction
Yeah.
between, I think it was Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter was, Draco, where's my son? Harry, where's my son? And everyone's just terrible at parenting. And that's the whole thing. And you'd expect them to... I did.
You read
hate it,
that.
'cause you guys know I love Harry Potter.
Oh man.
I grew up reading that shit.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
grew up
everyone
with
does.
that. I loved the ride as an adult.
Yeah.
No, because the ride was
Yeah,
sweet.
I mean,
It was.
The consensus that I've seen about The Cursed Child is that it's essentially just fan fiction. It is not a lot more to it. Like, if J.K. Rowling had done it, I'm sure it would have been fine, but like...
It is just fan fiction. It's...
I don't know.
I don't want to go more into it. I'm tired. I'm tired from just doing this.
I don't know. I feel like that's a good place to round off. Any of you have any fleeting parting words to say? Sponsors you may have forgotten?
I'm going to cut out like a third of this podcast.
We're going to end with a 10-minute segment. And then on to Andrew with the weather. It's hot as shit.
Yeah. The weather here is 30 degrees in Antarctica, in local Antarctica. The sun is out and it is shining. However, the snow is also falling. And the penguins here are dying. So back to you, Jim.
Closing
John,
thoughts, though.
Dave, Mikkel.
I am excited for a few things that came out of E3. I am particularly excited for the new Ubisoft Pirate game. I've always loved pirate games. You guys know that. And I'm.
What about Xbox Pirate game?
I don't know. I don't have an Xbox One.
Yeah.
No,
it might be coming out for PC.
Oh,
right?
then I'm definitely kind of hyped.
Okay.
I am looking forward to Death Stranding.
Yeah.
I want it to be good. I want it to be good. I want Detroit to suck just so we can stream it. No, because there's nothing better than a stream of a horrible game. Anyway, I think that's it for today. Unless you guys want to add something.
Yeah.
Fleeting words. Thank you all for watching the Lonely Time podcast.
I hope we made your day better.
We tried our best.
Yeah.
All right.
We tried. 2, 1.
2,
I pressed the red button, right?
Adios. No.
Stop.